Hey there, Doug Smith, family-friendly canine dog training in Northern California. What you're about to watch is a video with Kalea. You've seen some other videos with her. We did intro to prong collar last week, and this week we're going to be working on some place command. But I just wanted to introduce this video because what you won't see is some of the things that I helped Kalea through before we even got started. When I initially walked back into the backyard, into her backyard, she was very fearful, as she is kind of a fearful and skittish dog. And she ran off and ran underneath a wooden structure and was very scared. Even though I'd worked with her before, she knew who I was. She was still very fearful. So I took some treats in my hand. I sat down in the dirt, kind of out in front of her. I didn't ask her anything. I didn't pressure her. And I just held my hand open, and eventually she came up to me, took the treats, and started to get a little more comfortable. From that point, we took it real slow in getting the prong collar back on and before we really started the work. But you'll see in the video as she starts, her tail is really sort of down and she's just not very comfortable. But very quickly, she gets really into the groove, and she did a great job in this video. But just understand that as trainers, whether you're training your own dog or whether you're a professional trainer or you're working with a professional trainer, take your time and really understand how the dog is feeling and work within that, within their ability at the time. It's not always going to be easy. Every dog is different. Every dog has different fear levels. And in this case, Kalea really just needed some time to get back into the groove, and she really did. So take your time, help build a dog's confidence up, and not worry about the time it takes, because in the end, what you end up with is a more confident dog, a dog whose obedience is rock solid, and the family of that dog is really feels great about their relationship with their dog as well. So work with them, work within what they have at the moment, and you'll find you'll have great success. All right? Hope you enjoy the video. Okay, because I know Kalea is a little nervous as we get started here. You can see her tail's kind of down. I'm just kind of putting some treats onto the place board just to get her used to it and create a positive association. I was actually really surprised that she got up on the place board so quickly. And I'm not even giving her any commands here. I'm just kind of getting her up on the boards, giving her positive association, and working back and forth a little bit just to get her used to the process here. You'll notice each time before we go on the place board, I stop and pause before I walk her up on the place board. That's to create an intentional act that we're doing to get onto the place board, which will prepare us for the actual command of place here in just a few moments. So here again, I'm pausing, but now I'm saying place as we walk up onto the place board itself. So we're starting to pair the command of place with the act of walking up onto the place board. You'll still notice that I pause each time before going up on the place board, and before we start going, again, I use the command place. You'll also notice something subtle here. I start walking closer to the back of the place board, getting her used to staying on the board regardless of where I am in relationship to where she is. Now I'm starting to build in some duration. You see, I'm just kind of standing there with her on the place board versus just kind of coming on and coming off. And we're going to now go from here to another board. And what you'll see here, again, always stopping first and pausing, giving her the place command. And as she goes up, again, giving her a reward when she's got all four paws up onto the place board. And now I'm just kind of wandering around. Whoops, she tried to get off there, so we just corrected her a little bit, letting her know we don't want her off yet. Now what you're going to see is we're really going to start building in some duration, and I'm walking more to the front end of the place board each time. And I'm holding the leash loose unless she tries to get off, and then I'm giving her some minor corrections as I do there. Getting her back onto the place board, helping her understand that part of this command is that you stay on the place board until I say, let's go. So here again, we're getting back on the place board, and you're going to start to see me walking around the front of the place board as you see here. Again, as we walk up here, I'm giving her minor leash direction. I'm walking to the front, and now I'm going to start to give some leash real nice and loose and encouraging her to stay on the place board, even with some minor leash correction there, and holding the leash nice and loose and starting to walk around and give her a little bit of distance. This is how you build up the distance and duration portion of this. It's really important, and just giving her sort of that clear direction for this command. You'll notice here as we go up on the place board, I'm going to go all the way to the front as I've been doing and creating some distance. But you see here, she got a little confused and needed a light leash correction there because she was getting off the board. Just to let her know I want her to stay on the board. This is all part of the process, and again, she goes off there, and I just kind of give her some little bit of correction as I'm moving around her, creating some distraction as well. Okay, now we're going to be looking for two different things here. I'm going to start on this place board and really increase the distance, duration, and distraction for Kalea to stay on the place board itself. You can see how I do this. She steps off there, I give her a slight correction, and now I've got a lot of leash that I've given her. It's nice and loose, and I'm just kind of walking around her, and you see she's doing much better at staying on the place board and understanding the command of what I'm looking for, and not getting off without me asking her to. You can see there I dropped the leash a little bit and just increasing the challenge. Now as we walk over to the second place board, I'm going to start asking her for a down. This is the final position of the place command. So the idea is I'm telling her place, she gets up on the board, I'm marking it with yes, and you can see there I've used some light leash pressure, and I even encouraged her with some luring to get her in the down position. I don't have the leash, and now I'm doing some walk around and giving her some distance, giving her some duration, and giving her some distraction before I get her off the place board. Okay, one more time. Now on the other place board, give her the command of place. We walk up, and you see at this point now I'm walking all the way in the front, and she's staying on the place board, so she understands the border that I'm trying to get her to stay within. And now we're working on the down, and there she goes. A little less effort this time, and once again I'm giving her some distance. I no longer have the leash. I'm walking around and sort of distracting her, and she's doing a great job of staying in place. So we at this point have a great foundation for the place command and the behavior that's expected. One last time for the purposes of this video, we walk up, I give her the command. Now you can see the leash pressure I'm giving her and the command of down is a lot easier. So she's really understanding the expectation here, she understands down, and she's really understanding the leash pressure and how to turn that leash pressure off when I'm asking for a down as she gets into the down position and the leash pressure comes off. You can also see I'm giving her greater distance now. I'm still doing the walk around and sort of distracting her, but I've given her a lot more distance at this point, and she's doing a great job of staying put. And periodically I'm walking up, and I'll give her a little reward for staying right in place. And this is kind of what we do to really build up the duration, the distance, utilizing distraction around her. And right here she gets up, but I haven't asked her to, so I'm putting her back in a down position. She gets down right on time there, and now I'm just kind of doing some other work. Now I'm calling her to me, and I pulled on the leash slightly, and off she came. Now at the end of the session, we just like to do some play and really engage any one of our dogs in just some really great foundation and relationship building, utilizing play. You can see she really loves her frisbee, so my son and I will just spend some time just playing, getting her out of the mode of working through all of the commands. And right now we're just doing absolutely no command work. We're just playing and just having fun and really building a great relationship and foundation for her as we continue on through our work. This once very nervous girl is now feeling more confident and more sure of herself, and certainly enjoys the company she's with. And that is the key to dog training.